Aetna. So it doesn't work well that way. As far as, and I'm going to give you right now the mechanics so you really understand this. You hear talk show hosts talking about this thing, but this is very, very important that you get this. It's called adverse selection. And what that is an insurance term. And it means that we're going to cover people with this proposed plan with pre-existing conditions, which is a real good thing to do. We've done it with Medicare. However, if you're going to have a public plan and you're going to have private industry and you're going to insure a large number of people that, let's say, are very unhealthy with cancer and heart and other health problems, what will happen is the private insurance companies, the 4 or 5 of them that are going to actually be left in practice, what they will do is they'll compete against each other, which they would normally in a normal fair market. But remember this, they're competing against the government, which is nonprofit. What will happen is the company that aggressively markets health insurance with pre-existing conditions and really good coverage at the lowest price available, here's what will happen. 2 years into the program, they will attract a population of people that are very, very sick. It'll overload that particular insurance company, and guess what will happen? What happened to the automobile industry? Boom. The same thing will happen to health insurance, and it will be a thing of the past. The government can come in, buy up a major stock, and run those companies. And that's what I see as far as the private insurance system in concert with trying to compete with the government. It's just a very difficult thing to do. My brother lives in Canada. I'm very familiar with the single-payer system up in Canada. We don't want that because 5 years on a waiting list for a hernia operation is ridiculous. I've seen it with my own eyes. This is not an insurance, some type of a hype from an insurance company. It's a fact. There's a lot of things that are good in Canada. Canadian bacon is great. But their healthcare system is about to go bust, so there's some trouble. So here's another thing that will happen. Let's hypothetically say we put through the healthcare system. Now, if you were a good physician and you had a good practice here, why in the world would you want to have 47 million people new infused into the physician's practice? And here's what will happen if that happens. Your best physicians, the really good quality doctors, will get out of Dodge, so to speak. They will practice in Mexico, the Caribbean, somewhere out of the country where Canadians come to the United States. The gynecological center for Canada for offshore is the United States in Detroit. Cardiovascular is in New York. Why? Because Canadians that have the ability to pay for it, some of the system doesn't cover it and they go to the United States. The same thing will have to happen here. Now, if you have 47 million people infused very quickly into a healthcare system that's working right now, then what's going to happen? A physician's going to say, come and see me. Take 2 aspirin, I'll see you next month. It has to happen because you only have, it's like an HMO, you only have so much time with each patient. So 47 million new infused in this whole situation, if it happens too quickly, would be a disaster. Have you ever called Social Security? Or Medicare? This takes me back to 1992. You know, press 1 for this, the voice will come on, we're going to transfer you, you're going to be on hold, you won't hear any music, but stay with us, and 20 minutes later you hear bzzz, the thing goes off the air. That's what you face with this socialized stuff. The government's wonderful, the great Marine Corps, Army, Navy, I'm all for the government. But in the healthcare business, we have to be very careful. If it's not done right, we're going to have a big problem. I have a proposal. I want to hear your reaction to this. My proposal is this. I believe in equality. All members of the House and the Senate must be, under any bill that's proposed, mandated to have exactly, identically, the same rules and coverage agreements. Now, before Andy gives me the hook, this thing's too involved to go any further, there's one other thing I want to say to you. And this is not directed at any group whatsoever. It is a factual statement. We in the United States have a Constitution. The Constitution doesn't say, if you're Japanese, you get this. If you're Hispanic, you get this. If you're something else, you get that. It says, I am an American. I'm a U.S. citizen. I believe in my Constitution, and it's within arm's length of my desk. I put my hand on that as I would the Holy Bible, because it's my Constitution like it is yours. Without a reinforced Constitution, without protecting our borders, without a good system of immigration, we are destined to be in big trouble. And if these politicians don't get it, and I hope they do, I'm looking at them, then we have a big problem. I'm sorry I can't go on with this because it's very involved. So I want to thank you very much for your patience.
Now what we're going to do is open this up for you to ask your question, make your comment or statement. Now the bottom line is we probably got 150 or so people in this room, or 170 in this room, and got another 50 to 100 outside. Some of the statements that you have, somebody else is going to say it. And we do not need redundancy. I'm going to ask people, we're going to do this one line at a time. We're going to go in this front row right here. We're going to do 1 minute apiece because you also have the addresses of your elected officials here. But the bottom line here is we want to give people an opportunity. We encourage you, listen, the most important thing you can do is not be here tonight. The most important thing you can do is make a phone call tomorrow and write a letter tomorrow. That is the most important thing. Here you go.
First, my name is Val Delaney and I'm from Aurora Grande. And basically, I'm an 81-year-old veteran of 2 wars. The rest of it, I'm not going to get into. Now, healthcare. Our healthcare is not broken. Yes, it has problems, but those problems can be fixed. And I'd like to quickly propose 4 or 5 suggestions that I believe would go a long way to solving those, without having any ongoing government involvement in running our health system. First, repeal all state laws which prevent insurance companies from competing across state lines and make insurance portable. Secondly, have insurance companies create high deductible plans. Couple them with $2,000 a year health savings accounts, deposit it into each employee's account, so he can or she can spend them as they choose, and the unspent amount rolls over each year and grows over time. This way each person spends their own money, their own health care dollars, until the deductible is covered. Make the deductible about $2,500, and then the insurance kicks in. Very quickly. Require everyone to carry health insurance. The same way you all got to carry automobile insurance if you want to use the roads. You eliminate all this ER freebie then. 3, make insurers guarantee coverage to anyone willing to pay for it. They're not doing that now. The insurers get pick and choose. Subsidize premiums for tax credits for people who are on low income.
I gave him an extra minute because he's a veteran. Okay, you can get your 5 seconds support there. Is there anybody else in the front row? Hold on, second row. Come on in.
I have a card in there, but I will omit it. My name is Bob Garvin. I live in Orchid. President Obama says that the AMA, American Medical Association, is on board with him and his plan. Why? Is there a doctor in the house who can tell us? Thank you.
Form a line, and then we won't have